And my guest today is William Simonin. William is the co-founder at Tada, which is a blockchain-based data aggregation platform for AI. Very interesting. We will learn about this today. Welcome to the show, William.
Nice to meet you, Andy. I'm really glad to be here today.
Glad to have you here, William. Let's do what we do at the beginning of the show. It'd be great if you could please introduce yourself. Love to hear a little bit about your personal and professional background, what you've been doing in the lead up to co-founding Tada.
Yeah, sure. My name is William Simonin. I'm French. I start first of all learning computing in a school named Epitech in Nancy, near of Metz at the east of Paris. Then I worked a lot in the field of research and IT, security, and so on. Then I went to England to study entrepreneurship, and I started 8 years ago my first company named Vivoca, which is specialized in speech recognition and artificial intelligence. So basically, we developed a software that help any kind of companies to develop their own speech recognition system and integrate it into any kind of device. For example, it can be a robot, it can be a smart glasses, it can be a plane, submarines, and so on. It works in 42 languages without internet, so we export it worldwide. And a few years ago, something like 3 years ago, with my associates, we thought that we needed more and more of data to train, improve, and test our machine learning system for our artificial intelligence. And we thought that it's really, really expensive and quite complicated to get that data. So we imagine a system named Tada that can help any kind of AI company to get high quality of data. So that's basically the storytelling of the company.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I think it would be useful if you maybe just talk through, William, some of the different, I guess, customer or client segments that can potentially make use of Tada and, what they're doing with the various activities that they might be up to. Is this just for enterprise? Can it be for smaller companies as well? What are some of the different client, you know, customer targets that you're looking at, and then we can dig into use cases and so on after that.
I think to answer properly to this question, it's quite important to make a small focus and explanation about how works an artificial intelligence. So basically, it's like a brain. In the new machine learning system, basically, you have two different things. So the first one, you need to develop, thanks to developers, engineers, researchers, and so on, the brain itself, the machine learning system. And then the second part is the data. You will need to train it. So basically, it's a kind of example, demonstration you will do to the artificial intelligence to explain them what you are looking for. Let's take an example. Tesla train their autonomous cars with a machine learning system that explain where the car has to stop. For example, if the car see a red light, when it can move on, for example, green, white, and to do that, we have to send to the car a lot of videos and pictures of green and red lights. It's exactly the same for any kind of speech recognition system. For example, in Siri, if Siri want to understand Romanian people, you have to send a lot of hours of Romanian people who speak, but men, but also women, different ages with different background noise, basically different kind of data. And it's exactly the same for all the artificial intelligence for any kind of field. And that's why even if you have a small or large company, as soon as you use that kind of technology, you will need data. So first of all, as an IT company, you will try to find open source data set, which is quite simple for some field. For example, let's take the speech recognition field. In English or French, for example, they have a lot open source data set. But as soon as you can you want to find specified data set, for example, English, but for submarines, or English for industry with different kind of background noise and so on, you will not be able to find it in a really easy way. So you will have to pay to pay for it and record a lot of users. And that's the beginning of the complexity of finding a good data set. And of course, if you train your artificial intelligence with a bad data set for diversity or quality, of course, the result of the artificial intelligence will not be good enough.
Yep. Got it. Thank you, William. So you're talking about making it possible for companies to get access to accurate AI models with a custom data set at a fair price, and they can use that for whatever particular use case they want. That's good for companies. I also understand it is possible for users to potentially access the Tada platform and get AI to do whatever their daily tasks are. And you've got a beta platform for this running at the moment. Is that right?
Exactly. So for the moment, we developed the beta version of the system, where you have in one hand the side, the user side, sorry, of the application. So it's really, really simple. You have to download a mobile application on iOS or Android. And as a user, you will fill a form where you will explain all your skills, the language you spoke, your age, different information about you, and so on. And based on that information, we will make the link from different AI companies that need different kind of data and what you will be able to propose. And then as a user, you will see different kind of tasks. It's really simple. Take a picture, read a sentence, make a selfie, make a translation, listen something and answer to simple questions and so on. And then you can be paid for that. So it works basically. Each time you will do a simple tasks, that task is data for company. We will also use the community to double check the quality of each task in order to avoid that we'll send poor quality of data. And as soon as the company will receive that data, we will pay the user thanks to our token and our system, which is totally transparent, and that everything will be on chain as soon as we will release officially the application.
Okay, and to talk us through that token then. So the token is called Tada, I believe, unsurprisingly. So talk us through, I don't know, the status of Tada at the moment and how that will work in terms of, people can earn it. And yeah, please go for it. Tada, the token.
So we released the Tada token at the beginning of the year. So we created our platform based on Multiverse X ecosystem. And Tada was the last X Launchpad, so their Launchpad system, X Maya Launchpad around. So currently we have more than 12,000 of active users on the application, but their users are only whitelisted users. So we have a long waiting list for new one. And of course, thanks to the token, we have different features. So all the payment system, the micropayment and so on are based on our token, but not only. In order to avoid that, for example, one user will do a lot of tasks and other one don't have enough tasks to do, we created a kind of energy system where as a user, you have like 10 or 100 points of energy each day, but 1 point equal one task you can do. And if you don't have enough energy, you have to wait a few hours before you can refill your energy dynamically. Thanks to the Tada token, you can buy different point of energy and different features to be able to access to different kind of tasks, to do more tasks, and maybe to, if you stake the token, for example, you will have access to interesting jobs in priority, and you have a lot of ecosystem based on that.
Yeah, interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
Currently, the Tada token is listed on KuCoin mainly, and also on Meria for the staking system, which is a PSAN regulated platform in France.
Very good. And I understand you have like I guess like a strategy for different markets internationally. You just opened Turkey and you're working on the next territory. How does that work in terms of the different markets that you're trying to open up in?
Exactly. So it's quite important to understand that considering our market is worldwide, and by the way, we already have customers worldwide,
Yes.
depending on the need of those customers, we also need to get a really diversified community. Basically, we need people worldwide with different skills, different ages, and so on. So that's why for us, it's really, really important to create a base of community, a core community in different countries in the world. So our strategy is quite simple. Every 2, 3, or 4 weeks, we will open a new country. So of course, considering we are French and English is the most speaking language in the world, when we released the first version of the beta of the application, it was directly compatible in French and English. But a few weeks ago, we started all our expansion strategy by Turkey, for example. So we announced it 3 weeks ago, thing like that. So that means currently the application is also available for Turkish people. For us, Turkey was quite important because we have some partners in that country. We know that the Turkish community is really involved in the field of IT, innovation, and mainly gaming and Web3. So that makes a lot of sense for us because this kind of application, basically it's micro-tasking things, can really work well with this kind of countries. We will announce a new country tomorrow with a new translation and so on. And after that, every 2 or 3 weeks, we will open a new country. For the moment, we are mainly focused on a European country for technical reasons. But as soon as we will deploy our network everywhere in terms of mainly servers, that will be really important for us to also test the latency, the scalability, all the bandwidth of our system, because there is a lot of tasks. We already done more than 4 million of tasks on the beta. That will really good number. We will start to open different countries, mainly in Asia.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, William. I was looking through your Twitter today, William, and I saw quite an interesting tweet that you tweeted. You referenced an old article. It was talking about, it was by Eric Schmidt at Google, and in this article he was talking about how like the next $1 billion company he was talking about the secret sauce for the next $1 billion company, right? And he said something like, in 5 years' time, in the future, we will be talking about systems that use Android and iOS, fast networks, and powerful machine learning. They're going to use the crowd to learn something. This knowledge will become a marketplace. And I think you kind of referenced that quote and you said, wow, this sounds a lot like ta-da, ta-da.
Exactly, 100% agree. Indeed, what he explained basically is that the world is evolving to a new world where artificial intelligence will be everywhere. And thanks to that, we will need a lot of data to train that. And we will face two different challenges. And we know that currently a lot of challenges, engineers will like AI fix a lot of challenges, but for some of them, we will really need human in the loop. We will really need real people with different point of view, with different skills and so on, to answer to different things. And basically, what you try to build with Tada, it's exactly what he explained in his conference. Of course, we started by providing high level of quality of data for artificial intelligence, but basically what we created is more like that. It's the new micro-tasking system. So imagine a world where you can propose any kind of task to any people in the world with a smartphone, not only to train AI, but to do simple tasks. For example, let's take a reporter that would like to, in an emergency, to create an article on a special news that happened. It can be a plane crash, it can be whatever you want. They used to buy photos from professional to as an illustration. Imagine, thanks to the geolocalization, we can directly send a notification to the Tada user that could be at the right space when the crash happened. We can just ask them to take a picture and pay for that. We can imagine a lot of scenarios where only thanks to a simple notification and simple task, we can help each other. And even if we started by a B2B business model where companies pay for data, and thanks to the community, we bring that data and we send it to them, we can imagine even a world where people can propose a task and people, user, B2C can answer to that task. If we succeed in making that link, I think we could create one of the best applications in the world where the quality and the work depend whenever where do you come from, whenever your skin colors and so on, everyone will be at the same stage, and the skills, the quality, and the involvement will be really important, and everything can be really fair for everyone. In the field of microtasking, for example, if you are a microtasker, so for example, for the quality check, you just have to listen audio file and answer to simple questions, you can earn 10 times the salary if you work from US than from India, for example, for the same work. Thanks to TADA, thanks to the blockchain, we can pay more the users that will provide the best quality of data. And thanks to that, everything can be transparent. And that's what we would like to bring thanks to TADA.
Well, that is a noble vision that you're talking about. It's kind of the democratization of work skills for different people wherever they might live in the world, and giving them access to the same earning opportunities, which would be fantastic to see. I just, on a kind of, I guess, wider note, William, it's been fascinating to watch I suppose, the rise of AI over the last 2 years or so. But you still get the sense that the general population isn't quite aware of the kind of rapid pace of exponential change that is happening in AI, and maybe the implications that will happen, in terms of the world starting to change faster than people might think. How do you think about this? Do you think that's the case? Is AI going to rapidly start to change the world as these models get more and more powerful, and we have kind of these bigger data sets possible for people to train on?
Yes, definitely. I really think that thanks to the new technologies, we reach a really interesting stage where we move from simple and specialized AI to general AI. When I started working in the field of artificial intelligence, like 10 years ago, we was limited by the capacity of the hardware, the bandwidth, the size of the memory, the capacity, the performance of microprocessors, and so on. So we had to imagine a way to create simple use case and compress it. Right now, we have the power of the computers 2 years ago in our smartphone. So we are not limited at all thanks to the 5G and so on. And then we can create applications as, for example, ChatGPT. And ChatGPT is a perfect example of an artificial intelligence that can be generic. You can discuss with ChatGPT for any kind of subject, where, for example, IBM Watson, which is really, really powerful in terms of medical artificial intelligence, work very well only on that field. And considering right now we can use a large language model for different use cases, I think we reach a quite interesting stage where we are not limited by the hardware, but only by what the developers and engineers and entrepreneurs can imagine. It will be really simple to access to that tools and create artificial intelligence. Of course, for the moment, it's quite expensive if you want to train large model that can cost maybe millions of dollars. But thanks to the evolution, thanks to data generation and so on, the cost will be reduced and that technology will be accessible, not only for users, but also for creators of artificial intelligence. Then remains the subject of the data, because we will still need human in the loop. We will still need fresh data and really good and fair data. And that's why with TADA, we hopefully will try to solve that point. But I definitely think that in the next 5 years, we will see large evolution in many fields, many industries, thanks to AI.
Yes, yes, indeed. Thank you again, William. I noticed also that your brother, I think, he's a co-founder with Tada. He's quite famous in France as well. He's like a famous YouTuber influencer, and obviously a tech entrepreneur alongside yourself.
Yes, exactly. So with my brother, basically, we created different kind of companies. So the first one, Vivoca, specialized in speak recognition. We built it 8 years ago, but we also used to work in the field of Web3, not only with Tada, but first of all, my brother created a company named Meria, ex Just Mining, which is the number 1 or 2 in Europe in terms of crypto investment based on technical thing as lending, staking, masternodes, and so on. So when we started Meria a few years ago, we created the first miners on Ethereum and different kind of other cryptocurrencies. And we created a simple object that can help people to create that money as easy as possible, just to plug your system on internet and with electricity, and that's it. So we try to help the technology to move forward thanks to different really interesting crypto investments. Then we created Descoin, which is a French exchange. You can change from fiat to crypto and crypto to fiat. And we used to invest on different kind of Web3 and innovative company in different fields, but mainly in France, Belgium, Switzerland, and Luxembourg. And then, of course, in parallel of that, my brother is one of the most known crypto influencer in France.
Yes, yes, indeed. I think his name is Hashur, or is that how you say it? That's the name of his YouTube
Exactly,
channel.
exactly. Asher.
Yeah,
Correct.
Ashur. That sounds better when you say it. Just since we're talking about France, William, yeah, what's the kind of I guess the vibe, if you like, on the ground and France in terms of the French people's attitude towards Bitcoin or Web3 crypto in general? How would you characterize it?
I think they are quite bullish, but as a lot of person at the beginning of a bull market, of course, it's quite complicated for French people because there is a lot of regulation, and I think it's the same on different countries, but especially in France. But it's not really transparent, and we don't really know in France what we can do, what is dangerous or not. How can we share what we have thanks to the administration and so on. So I think all that ecosystem try to evolve directly, but it's not that easy for the government considering all the technology in the field of Web3 evolve really, really fastly. A few years ago, they created the stakings and the lending. Right now, we are talking about restaking and so on. So it's not that easy for the regulator to move as fast as the technology. But I think all the cryptocurrencies technology and blockchain currently, not only in France, but worldwide are really new. We have to continue to explain to people and simplify everything about the technology to try to don't make the mistake to say a cryptocurrency is not the blockchain, what is the utility, what that can bring in terms of transparency and so on, what are the risks in terms of investment. It's not magic, basically. But I definitely think in a few years, everything will be more accessible for the mass market.
Yes, very well said. I very much agree. Thank you again, William. Look, as we finish up this part of the podcast, again, just tell people what essentially, at a high level, what Tada is, and for people that want to learn more about Tada, whether they're a company looking to make use of AI data sets, or an individual looking to join that beta program and play around with tasks and so on. What's the best place for people to go where they can learn more and engage with the Tada ecosystem?
I think the first the easier way will be to move to our website, so tada.io, where they can learn a bit about the project, they can ask to join the beta version. So for the moment, they will only be able to apply on a waiting list. And sometimes we selected some people to join the whitelist, and then they will be able to join the beta. Normally, at the end of the quarter, Tada will be officially on the store. So anyone will directly be able to research it on App Store or Google Store and download it directly. And of course, thanks to our social media, as Twitter, you can see the different progression of the project. And we will release some interesting news really, really soon. So don't hesitate to communicate with us if needed.
Excellent. And of course, links are in the show notes, listeners, to ta-da.io is the website. Links are in the show notes. I think what we do now, William, is we go to a very quick break and then we will come back. We'll finish off. We'll have some fun by running you through the very famous Crypto Conversation hot take round. Back in 1 second. And boom, we are back. And I'm with William. He's the co-founder at Tada, French company. Fascinating. Yeah, all about AI. There's a nice way of describing it here. Tada organizes crowds of users around your needs, high quality data at a fair price with ethical human in the loop processes. Very nice. Very nice. William, I like to finish each podcast with a quick round of rapid fire crypto conversation hot takes. Are you up for it?
Yeah.
Just going to run some questions at you, William. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Don't worry. Just give me your honest hot take style answers if you like. Question 1 for you. Where would you say that you sit on the Bitcoin maximalist to multi-chain opportunist spectrum?
That's not that easy. For all that kind of questions, what I really learn in the field of innovation and technology in the general way is use case. To explain a technology, crypto, blockchain, and so on, I always try to think about what use case can we do with that technology and what is a pain point you want to solve with one technology. And I think so Bitcoin was a really good proof of concept of what decentralization can bring to the universe, what the transparency, what basically that concept can be used on the real world. But to do that, people have to create a different kind of other layer to make it usable for any kind of company who would like to build on it. So that's why not all the layer 1 can be really useful, but for most of them, I definitely think that can bring value, and I can wait to see what will be the next use cases people will bring on the real market, basically.
Yes, very well said. Very well said. Thank you, William. Next question. What would you say is your firmest conviction crypto opinion?
You mean the name of the crypto itself?
No, I just mean what opinion do you have that you believe to be true about crypto?
That decentralization can really bring a lot of value in that world.
Yep, very well said. All right. Look, Bill Gates famously said that we tend to overestimate what we can achieve in 2 years and underestimate what we can achieve in 10. So with that in mind, 10 years in blockchain is a very long time, I suspect, and I'm sure you do too. 10 years in AI is an even longer time. But ta-da, in 10 years' time, what does it look like?
So I think Tada in 2 years, we definitely think that we can reach to sign really high level of AI companies. So for me as an entrepreneur, I can be really proud of myself and my team if we can bring value through Tada to provide services to companies as Apple, Google, and the big tech. And I strongly believe that in 2 years, we have enough time to do that.
I like it. Sci-fi author William Gibson said that the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. Can you think of an example of the future being here right now, but most people aren't aware of it?
Something we can see that the future is already here. I think just with autonomous vehicle that created few months, years ago. That's a really huge step in that world. So we saw that on the fiction movie maybe 10 or 15 years ago, but right now it's already happened. And also, second example, in the field of medical healthcare, we can see that artificial intelligence can solve technical medical problems, for example, to find a specific ill and so on, better than the human himself. So I think thanks to that tools, the future is already here. So of course, anyone don't really see it directly, but behind that's what it's already happened.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very well said. Brings us nicely to our final question, William, which is, what is your favorite science fiction book, film, or TV show?
That's really, really interesting. It's not really science fiction, but I like the Dan Brown books, but as a
Yes.
real science fiction, I not look a lot of science fiction, but I really liked when I was a child Harry Potter.
I love it. Yeah, fantasy. Close enough. Thank you, William. All right. Hey, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for coming on the show and spending some time with us today. Again, just to finish off, for people that want to look more at what you guys are building with AI and ta-da, what should they do? Where should they go? And yeah, look, shout out your own Twitter or wherever else you like to hang out online.
Yes, basically all the information is available on our website, ta-da.io. Then they will be able to download, thanks to the beta link, our application. And thanks to simple tasks, the aim of the application for the user will be to earn token by doing simple pictures or translation and so on. And on our social network, Tada directly, everyone can find us on Twitter, Discord, and Telegram, and so on.
Awesome. Thank you so much, William. All the best and bye for now.
Thank you very much, Andy.
All right, there you go. That was William from Tada. Yeah, very cool. Speaking to William Tada looks a lot of fun. Well, very interesting. Fascinating to see, yeah, the intersection of AI and blockchain. Suspect we will see a lot more of this in the years to come. So it'd be very interesting to see how all this plays out. Thanks to William. Thanks to the Tada team. And thank you for listening or watching. That's the end of another show. This was the Crypto Conversation for Brave New Coin. See ya.